Om Shanti, everyone. And thank you for the invitation. It's always nice to remind oneself of these topics. So we don't do it for others, but we do it for ourselves. So yes, this topic has been current for some time because I just feel like it's such a good topic, and it is the new cool at the moment because everybody's feeling like we need to give something back to the planet. We've taken so much from everything, and so basically now it's time to be kind again. Okay. So I want to start the topic by saying that, did you know that on average, an American dumps about 2 kilos of trash every day? So how kind are we to the planet? And then how many children get bullied at school? You know, the bullying statistics show that 1 out of every 4 kids is bullied. So how kind are we to our schoolmates? And then did you know that in Japan, there is actually a concept called kodokushi, which refers to lonely death. It's a Japanese phenomenon where people die alone and they don't remain discovered for a long time. So are we being kind to old people? And then children, almost 5 children die every day from child abuse. Are we being kind to children? And then there's so much harassment at work, especially women, sexual harassment, sexual assaults. How kind are we to each other, to the other gender? So pretty much, let's say that we live in a world of unkindness. And we've got to create the kindness. Where is it going to come from? It's not just suddenly going to appear. And the thing is that when we are kind, then we create a kinder world. And isn't that what we want? To create a kinder world. So let us plant those seeds. I want to say that I think we all want to look good far than we want to be good. So we want to show that we are being kind, but are we being kind or are we being nice? And there's a difference, and I'll go into that. But let me say that if we are kind, we don't lose much, but we gain so much. See, when we are being nice, then kindness comes from the heart, but niceness comes from the head. And being kind is a blessing, but being nice is a burden. Why? Because, and we often say this, isn't it? We say, I'm trying to be nice. Well, exactly, that's the point. I'm trying, which means that it's not my natural nature. See, when I'm being kind, I'm operating from my soul nature. And there's no pretense. There's no pretense to upkeep. But when I'm trying to be nice, that means there's some pretense. I'm pretending to be a good person. And so then we get tired of being nice and then we stop because it doesn't come naturally to us. Right? So this is the point, that am I being kind or am I being nice? And as I said, kindness is an investment. When you value something, you will be kind. A classic example is of a diamond and a coal. If you value the diamond, you will handle it, very carefully. You will make sure that it's put down properly, picked up properly. stored in a safe place. Same with relationships. Same with relationships. If we value a relationship, then we will make sure that we are kind to that person. If you meet somebody somewhere in a shop as a cashier or maybe the bus driver or something, you may not give so much attention to that relationship, right? So the point is that, yeah, when I'm being kind, it's actually something that comes from the core of my heart. And so what are some similar words to kindness? Because it's always good to look at kindness from another angle, another perspective. Then it sheds light on this virtue. So kindness can be being friendly, right? Being caring, considerate, generous, tender, gentle, right? Goodwill. And maybe you can, if you want, write some other words in the chat. Being genuine, right? This is all being kind. So the thing is that we've got to decide now that, do I want to be nice? In other words, when I'm nice, I want something back. For example, if I'm nice to you and I give you my seat, then I want something back. I want a thank you, or maybe next time you give up your seat for me when I need it. But kindness is an investment. And then when I'm kind, I don't want anything back because I know I'm just doing it from the goodness of my heart. There's Dr. David Hamilton, who writes in his book, Why Kindness is Good for You. And he actually says that, and I'm going to just read a few things. So he actually says that our immune system, kindness actually changes our brain, our immune system, impacts the heart, and it may even be an antidote to depression. And he actually says we're actually, genetically wired to be kind. He says that when we show kindness, it actually affects our daily, nervous system on a daily basis. Our bodies are healthiest when we are being kind. And he said that when we are kind, it can actually heal a damaged heart much faster, because there's something that happens to the neural structures of our brain. And so really, what more evidence do we need to prove that kindness is good? Then I want to go back to another scientist, Darwin. So Darwin, created the theory of the survival of the fittest. And normally in this theory of survival of the fittest, it's the one who is the fittest who looks out for him or herself, right? And often this is considered quite selfish. But Darwin said that if we study human evolution, then he has said that mankind is not actually self-interested or competitive, but it's actually sympathetic and caring. And he said that as human beings, we are actually quite profoundly caring and social. So what is it going to take to bring out the kindness? Have you noticed that when we have catastrophes, when we have earthquakes, when we have tsunamis and things like that, then what happens? What happens? Everybody comes together and helps each other. Why? Because now there's no place for the ego. When there is ego, then the kindness stops. When there's ego, we start bargaining and bartering. If I be kind, then what am I going to get in return? Which is, as I said, not genuine kindness. But when there is a catastrophe, like, for example, now in Ukraine, do you think anybody's looking at what race or social class or stature anybody's coming from? No. Everybody just begins to help each other. You don't even, care to ask what religion or what background. No, nothing. So the point is that there is that innate instinct in us to be kind. But again, as I said, we have to get rid of the ego. There's also another scientist, I forgot, Dr. Oliver Curry. He has a TED talk. You can listen to that. And he says there's a link between helping others and happiness. So as I said, many scientific studies to show that when we give of ourselves, when we are naturally giving to others, then really, as I said, the world becomes a nicer place. There's also Dan Gilbert. Some of you may have read his book, Stumbling on Happiness. It's a very good book. And he's also done many studies. And he did an experiment, conducted an experiment, whereby they gave 100 students something around $20 each. And half were told to spend it on themselves, and the other half were told to spend it on others. Yeah, 50% were told to spend on themselves, that $20, and 50% were told to spend on others. And then they came back and asked them how they felt. And of course, those who spent it on others were much happier than those who spent it on themselves. So again, more proof that when I give, then I'm a happier person. So kindness is about engaging. Kindness is about giving. Kindness is about sharing what you have. This is kindness. Otherwise, it becomes selfish. And we don't want to be selfish. And in fact, I want to say that we should not allow anything to stop us from being kind. Why should we allow? Often what happens is somebody does something. And what happens to our heart? Our heart closes. The first thing that happens when I take sorrow is that my heart closes. And I can no longer give. So again, this is the ego. The ego has locked very tightly, or there's a double lock because of the ego on the heart. And the ego says, no, I'm not going to bend first. They have to bend first. They have to apologize. And then I might be nice. I might be kind. I might give. So yeah, don't let anything close your heart. Just continue to be kind. And as Joni said, yes, kindness never goes to waste. The other thing I want to say, and really from my experience and what I say to myself, is that I deserve kindness. Just as others deserve kindness, I also deserve kindness. Like just as you want people to be nice to you, then I also, each one should say this for themselves, that I deserve kindness. I deserve kind energy around me. And so let me just be an instrument to create more of that kindness. It's a bit like the ripple effect. When you throw the stone, there are so many ripples, and that's where kindness is contagious. That's why kindness never goes to waste. And there's a good example from Simon Sinek. Again, he has a lovely TED talk, and and he shares this story that he was walking along the road and he noticed that somebody's backpack was empty. And then, sure enough, the wallet fell from the backpack. And as the wallet fell, he noticed it. The man kept walking. Simon picked up his wallet and rushed to catch up with him. The man was waiting at the traffic light to cross the street, and Simon gave it to him. And this man was like, of course, overjoyed. Imagine when somebody gives you your wallet back and everything is intact. And so that's not the only thing. Not only was he happy, but the person who was looking at Simon and this scene, he also said, "Oh, wow, that was amazing what you did." And that encouraged him to be nicer and kinder. So sometimes, people think that naive people or kind people, are naive. And it's not the case. I think kind people are very powerful people. When we give, when a powerful person gives, they're giving because they have. Think about it. If I cannot give, obviously I don't have, right? Let's take money, for example. If you can't give $1,000, it's probably that you don't have that much, or you think you don't have that much. So you don't give. So you give 100. In the same way, if I cannot give love, if I cannot give vibrations of peace, if I cannot give my kindness, it means that I don't have. So how are we going to fill up? Where is the source of all these virtues? So we'll come to that. But I want to say that back to the powerful person, when somebody is powerful, then they are giving selflessly. They are giving without wanting anything back. And then that seed, that intention is so pure that that's why they get so much back in return, in the form of power, in the form of blessings. And so that's how they become more and more powerful. It's like they have now planted a virtue, a very powerful virtue, and this virtue is now going to reap so many powerful fruits. So like they say, I think it's in every culture, because I know it's in the Arab culture, in the Indian culture, that really the left hand should not know what the right hand is giving, or the other way, whatever, the right or left, but the other hand should not know. Like we give, we give without making a big scene, without bragging. Again, when we give and we say, "Oh, I gave so much," and yeah, I did that. Oh, yes, I did that. And I keep repeating it. It's washed away. The goodness is actually washed away. So let me give without wanting anything, and just know that it will come back, because that is the law. I planted the seed, and let me walk away. I don't need to stand there and watch the plant grow. It will grow. Let me leave it to the natural forces. So let's talk about now what ways that we can actually be kind. And I think one of the most important things at this current time is to just be present, just to be present for others. How much are we present? You know that story, right, of the little boy who saved up in his piggy bank, and he says to his dad, "Dad, how much is your time worth?" So the dad tells him, "Well, at work, I'm $100 an hour or whatever." So the boy tries to save up $100 because he wants an hour of his father's time. So I feel one of the most simple ways that we can be kind is just being present for others. And what I mean by this is, how much time do we spend on our cell phones in the company of others? Or even generally, could I be giving that time to my children? Could I be giving that time to my friends? Yes, cell phones are good, but they take so much away from life. And let me say that, technology will never be kind. Technology is not geared to be kind. You can only trust technology to a point. But a human you can trust, right? Like, you can trust that the human can make the right decision at the right time. But the robot, it will just do what it's told to do. So why are we giving so much attention to technology that is not going to really, it's not a good investment of our time. Unless, of course, you're like an IT expert or something. But generally speaking, what I'm trying to say is, let us give more time to the human being. And at the same time, are we being present with ourselves? Are we being present with ourselves? Do we speak kind words to ourselves? When we are kind to ourselves, we treat ourselves nicely with respect. The way you treat others is probably how you treat yourself. So be kind to yourself. Speak nicely. Look, observe the kinds of words that you use for yourself. Do you say, oh, I'm so stupid? Oh, Aruna, you're pathetic. Do I condemn myself like this? Or if I make a mistake, I get so annoyed. Okay, it's a mistake. It's not the end of the world. So again, be kind, be gentle to your mistakes. And then others, be gentle on them. Everybody makes mistakes, right? So being kind to the self is speaking nicely. And I would add to that taking time out for meditation, just being present with the self. As I said, when somebody's there, right? When somebody's present for you, you feel so good. But are you present for yourself? That's one of the first steps of kindness. Or are we always just running from ourselves? Avoiding the silence. We enter the house and we turn on the TV or turn on the music or some YouTube or something because we don't like our own company. The kindness is about loving myself first. As I said, if I cannot love myself, then how can I love others? There's a very beautiful story about a monk, and I believe that it's true, actually. And there was a monk who was imprisoned in China, a Tibetan monk imprisoned in China. And he was tortured a lot. And you know that the Tibetan monks are, told to practice compassion. Like, at no cost should you give up the compassion. So when he returned, his head monk asked him, so how was it? And the imprisoned monk said, well, I thought that there was a moment that I almost lost it. Lost what? Lost the compassion. He was having compassion for his torturers. And he thought for a moment that he might lose that compassion for his torturers. Imagine. Can we be nice to the people? They don't torture us, but they might upset us. Can we be nice to them? Can we be kind to them? So think about it. Do you want to be kind, or do you want to be right? When I try to be right, again, as I said, that's the ego, isn't it? And then let's talk about being kind to the planet. How much are we nice to the planet? In fact, there is a big surge, a big movement in the world trying to help animals by going vegan, trying to help the trees, planting more trees, trying to help the marine life, trying to save water, trying to recycle. All these are acts of kindness, right? So what am I doing on a daily basis? Using less plastic or recycling the plastic. These are all acts of kindness. And again, people always say to me, like, so what? Like, everybody else is doing it. So what? Like, does it really matter? And I would say yes, because you are creating that karma with that particular aspect of nature. This is my karma with nature. I shouldn't do it because others are doing it or not doing it. I do it because I want to create good karma with the fish, with the water, with the air. And then this will boomerang back to me. In other words, I'll always have air when I need it. I'll always have food when I want it, if I haven't wasted the food. That's what I'm saying. No aspect of kindness goes to waste. There's so many videos where animals are helping animals, like a cat is helping a pigeon or guarding its eggs or something, like they actually start to feel like a family. I think there was an elephant who was taking care of some other small dog or something, I don't know, a sheep or something. Like, they just bond like their family. So if they can do it, why can't we do it? And what I'm trying to say is they're helping each other because that is the natural instinct to do so, to help each other. So how much are we giving back to the planet? At least I would say if we're not contributing, let us at least not waste. There's so many people that need, and I should again have compassion for them because I'm lucky that I have. I'm lucky that I can spend. I'm lucky that I have a meal on the table. So yes, a sense of gratitude, an attitude of gratitude, and not to just take it for granted. And then in companies, there is what we call CSR, right? Corporate social responsibility. This is where companies now feel that they want to give something back to others or other startups or something like that. In other words, the profit that they're making, they want to share that profit with others. So they might sponsor marathons or environmental events or health events or do some fundraising. So again, what is this? It's what comes naturally from the heart. Normally people contribute to a cause that is close to their heart. And so, what is close to your heart? What do you want to contribute to? And Maya Angelou said that we actually have two hands. Why? Because one is for helping ourselves and the other is for helping others. So when I'm thinking to do something for others, it just needs to be a small act. Many, many years ago, there was a project called Random Acts of Kindness, where you would just do something for somebody. So there were many cases like somebody says, okay, I'll donate $10 to the petrol for the man behind, the car behind, or sending, random gifts to your colleagues at work, or flowers or something like that. Many, many different ideas. So you're just helping without knowing who's getting it. And it did go viral. I think it was in the 90s, if I'm not wrong. And then there was a movie made on that as well. Like whatever you give, it comes back. This one helps this one helps this one, and then eventually comes back. There's many little videos that go on Whatsaapp about this as well. Somebody helped the waitress got home, it helped the husband had helped the wife of the man in the cafe, whatever. Like, it does go around. It really goes around. So when I'm saying that kindness is the new cool, what I'm meaning is, we always say when something is cool, it means let's do it. Like it's cool to do this, it's cool to be this. So this is my point. It's now cool to be kind, because we live in a world where there is not much of it. And everybody's suspecting everybody else. Everybody's mistrusting. And so, as I said, who's going to kickstart kindness? And it has to be me. And then let us come to, on a very spiritual level, how are we being kind? Because again, many people comment to us that, you just sit on a mountain and meditate. Like you're not like Mother Teresa, right? Helping the poor, or you're not donating, etc. Right? Many people say this. Well, I want to say that I believe in energy, in vibration. And so somebody has to do that. Who is working on an energetic level? See, when you go help somebody, it has to be around your reach, unless you take a flight. So you can only help so many people, right? Or give to so many people physically, literally. But when you meditate, and when you are in a very powerful state of consciousness, then you are sending out very, very positive vibes, elevated vibes. And again, in this act of what we call it actually mental service, or let's say service through the mind. When we send out very powerful thoughts to others, it does, I'm sure, I'm certain that it helps people. It gives them hope. It gives them some peace, some solace. Maybe even a sense of encouragement, like hope in the sense of, okay, let's try, let's keep going. Let's be patient. So when we give light like this to, again, people we don't know, it's just going random here and there and everywhere. And also the beauty of this is you cannot take credit. You cannot say, you see, I'm the one that sent you light. So again, you're not feeding the ego. You just send, you give light, and you let go. And just trust that that light will help. So in fact, you can start with your family members. Just start with them. In your early morning meditation, give your son, your daughter, your husband, your wife, a very loving light. Just see them there standing in your mind, and just visualize that there is all these powerful, very pure, very positive energy of love, of kindness, wishing them well, sending good wishes. And see how they improve and see how they are touched, how they change. And these transformations are very subtle. Perhaps they will stop arguing with you. In fact, we have a few new students in Kuwait, and she practiced with her children, son and daughter. And then the children are saying to her, "But Mom, you don't get angry anymore." So now, because she doesn't get angry, they cannot get angry with her. So there's no anger in the house. So really, I mean, there are many practical examples of this. So experiment for yourself, convince yourself, don't just listen to me, convince yourself that yes, spreading these, waves of kindness does really help. And so perhaps let us experiment with this now. I'd like to, and then I'm happy to share more or take questions. But I think it's a good time now. Let's sit in meditation. So whatever you're doing, just relax. Just a moment. Yeah, so just sit comfortably. So still the mind, still the body. And in your mind's eye, I would like you to think of somebody that you think needs your light. So it could be somebody, it could be a region, it could be a country. You decide and just hold them in your vision, in your mind. It could be the animals. Just hold them in your vision. Okay, and then I'd like you to, with very powerful thoughts, so you have to create very powerful thoughts. I'd like you to imagine that there is a big ball in between you and them, between you and that thing. Just imagine there's a very big, transparent ball, again, made of light. And I would like you to put into this ball all your love, all your good wishes. All good feelings from your heart. Like when you are being kind, you want to give this and give that, and you want to do this and you want to feed them that, and you want to share this, right? So just emerge and open your heart and create that good feeling in you, and also fill that bowl with all this light of goodness. And then I would like you to just send that ball, just very gently, just like a balloon, let it just go to that person, to that country, to whoever you are intending it. And then I'd like you to now observe how that person would feel receiving this gift. Such a beautiful gift, such a altruistic gift. Where you just send without wanting anything back. And they feel so good. They feel like it's a warm blanket that they are being cloaked in. So this is a blanket of good wishes, pure feelings, highest intentions. And then this starts to give them some hope. It starts to give them some courage. Okay. And just hold that in your mind, your mind's eye. Just hold the vision and just hold the feeling, how good it felt to just give selflessly. And with every meditation, you can do this. Send out a different ball of light in different directions. Shanti. I also want to say, yes, so what are some of the things that we can do? Simple things to be kind. So yeah, be kind no matter what. Yeah. So how can we be kind? I'm just going to run through a few things. Reserve judgment. Don't judge others. Listen. Don't, jump in to say something. Just really listen. If they're talking, just listen. And to add to that, don't just hear, but listen. Listen with your heart. Be open, not rigid. Be honest. Tell the truth. Sometimes the truth hurts, but sometimes you have to be kind by telling the truth. As I said earlier, do something. Do a good deed for somebody else. Just give, Go to an old people's home. Just go and, well, now I guess you can now, yeah. In COVID, you couldn't, but just go say hello. Share your happiness with them. Smile more. When we are kind, we have manners. We say thank you. We apologize. We express gratitude. Be generous. Now there's also the holy month of Ramadan, right? So everybody's also being conscious of being good and giving and sharing with those who don't have. Bake a cake. Give more compliments. How can you be kind? Do more positives than negatives, right? So say more positive things. So if you think something's negative, turn it around. How can you make it more positive? So if your kids are making a lot of noise, don't say, oh, you're always so loud. Say, well, wouldn't it be nice to have a bit more peace? Okay? Turn it around, make it positive. Yeah, bake a cake. And yeah, don't waste your time. That's my last comment. Don't waste your time because time is ticking, we don't realize how much we have to do in this lifetime. And we also don't know what is the extent of our lifetime. So we think we've got forever, but we don't. We've got limited time. You know, if somebody told you that tomorrow you're going to die, then would you be arguing with somebody today? And even if somebody started arguing, you'd say, oh, you got no time for that, right? No energy for that. So why don't we treat every moment like our last and yeah, make really good use of our time? This is really the greatest act of kindness for the self. Use your time wisely. Right. Om Shanti. I'll stop here. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take those.
Om Shanti. Thank you very much. That was lovely. Very filled with a lot of information, a lot of knowledge. Some things we have heard before, but what happens is over time we do forget, and that way the subtle reminders are always necessary. It's just like a shower, which we have a shower every day. We brush our teeth every day. We need the knowledge every day. So thank you very much, Arunaji. Questions, those of you who like to ask can ask also, but if you cannot talk and you like to put it in the chat box, I'll be glad to read it out. Arunaji, one thing I would like to start with is a question. You started saying about being kind and being nice. Can there be a variance where a person is kind but not nice, or vice versa, nice but not kind? Can it be opposites?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I was trying to say, that when we have to check really what is the intention. But if we are being nice, is it that I'm just being nice because I feel I have to be because others are watching me? Because what I'm trying to say is kindness will automatically come from the heart. Mm-hmm. And I'll be kind even when I'm alone or when I'm with others. Whereas the act of niceness, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Niceness is like a transaction. As I said, it's like a bargain. I'll be nice to you if you be nice to me.
And that exactly was the next question, which I have from Andy, said, is being nice transactional?
Yes, yes, exactly. It's a game, isn't it? But what I'm saying is, in kindness, really, you're not waiting for anything back. So it's not a game. It's not a business.
True. It's not a transaction.
Yeah.
Any other questions from anyone? Please unmute yourself and go right ahead.
Ask?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Sister Aruna. It's always so beautiful to listen to and reiterate what we know how to do. I think I have one or two questions that stayed in my mind. You say in the world right now, unkindness is so much. So we can run out. I feel we run out because it can happen that we are not looking for return, but you can be taken advantage of. You feel that your kindness has been taken for advantage, and you can be put down still. So how can we be full with this kindness in this environment? Keep moving.
Yeah, so you reminded me of Dadi Janki. Some of you know her, some of you may not, but Dadi Janki was the head of the Brahma Kumaris. She passed away a couple of years ago. And Dadi always used to say, you know, don't get tired. And this is exactly what she meant, is don't get tired of doing the good. And so one thing is, yeah, we get tired of giving and then we don't want to give. But yes, the other angle is that we feel perhaps people are taking advantage of us. And so this is what I want to say, that if your nature or if your intention is to truly give, then you cannot say that they're taking advantage because you set out to give. It's a bit like the Brahma Kumaris. So we give a lot of our sessions free of charge. So we, with our good intention, are giving sessions free of charge. We set out, we made this system, right? We initiated this. So then after that, we cannot say people are taking advantage. So we have to explain to ourselves that, no, my role, my job is to give what I have. Because why? Because I've understood that in the giving, I am investing in my soul. So when I give, I'm doing it for myself. I'm not giving for you or, to get something back from you, but I just know my soul will become full. And so really knowledge plays a big role in the giving. And when you start using this kind of wisdom to teach yourself, then you will just want to give and you will not get tired. And also you will not feel that you are being taken advantage of. Because I always think who like who will come, like who are you that people come to you? You have to be a king, right? If people want something from you, obviously they think you have it. So why don't you just play the part of being the king, being the donor, being the bestower, and being the one who has, and then give? And so think of it that way, that, people have high hopes in you. That's why they come to you to take. Don't think of it as, poor me, pity me. Why is it me again? They come to know. Have a big heart. Have big thoughts, high thoughts, and then give. Yeah,
that's very nice. So think of yourself as the king, and coming back to this self-thought of having this power and feeling good by doing it. I want to do it. Okay, give me 1 second. I wanted to thank you also for giving that physical list of actions. Sorry. Is it echoing? I'm so sorry about that. Okay, now it's
continue.
So the physical list of things to do, bake a cake, smile more, and really holding on to that kind heart. So is there any physical steps or methods you'd like to tell us that in the day, that is a list of physical actions I could relate to, that we are full with our light of that kindness, no matter what's happening, feeling contentment and happy just by being kind throughout the day?
Yeah, I'm not sure that there's like physical steps more than it's about the being. It's like creating these kinds of thoughts, like affirmations, whereby you tell yourself that, yes, I am great. Yes, I am valuable. Yes, I have something to offer. Like, I think it's about being more. And when you create that big heart, then automatically you will give, like a teacup that just overflows. And you will just want to give because you have so much. So you will automatically just want to share. So I'm not sure, I don't have any like literal steps, but I think you can understand that when you have tasted something good, when you have experienced something good, then you automatically want others to have a taste of that. Well, a literal example is when you see a sale in a shop, when you know that something expensive is now 50%, right? Then you want to tell everyone, hey, go there, go pick it up. It's like really cheap. So it's like this, when you have a good feeling about something, you will automatically want to share that. And so what I'm saying is fill yourself, just keep filling yourself. And then you will automatically overflow.
Right. Thank you so much. Yeah. So the new cool, that really attracted the attention, that we have to make it our new cool and enjoy the contentment, the happiness.
Yeah. And understand how it's beneficial. Like, as I'm happy, then I'm creating a happier world. You see? Yeah.
Thank you very much. So, Aruna, we have another question which comes from Sister Jayashree. Is kindness your sanskar? Can kindness be considered as a sanskar?
Yeah, so sanskar is like a personality trait. And I think it is. I think it was. Like with many good personality traits, it got buried because we had some bad experiences, and we maybe were kind, and then we thought, oh, I burnt my fingers, I don't want to be kind anymore. But I think with everything that's happened, I need to ask myself, okay, what did I learn from that? And how did I attract that to myself in my life? I can't just think, oh, that happened to me. Nothing just happens to me. I have to sit and reflect. If something did happen, okay, what was my percentage of the cause in that? And then I learn my lesson. And then next time I do it better. I aim to do it better. So next time when I do go to give, the example of you want to help the scorpion, right? So there's this scorpion that's fallen in the hole. And this person keeps putting his hand in and keeps pulling him out. But every time he pulls him out, then the person looking at him sees that the scorpion is biting him. So he said, why you keep helping the scorpion when it keeps biting you? So this man replies, well, that's its nature to bite, but my nature is to help. So I would like to add an appendix to that story. And I would like to say that, well, put on a glove, help the scorpion, but then also learn to, protect yourself. So it's not that you stop helping, but you just get your armor, protect yourself, and then still continue to give. Learn your lesson.
The Hindi word for that is fitrat. Uski fitrat hai. That's the word we use. There's a question who somebody's raised his hand. Brother Ravi Kumar, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Ravi Kumar.
Om Shanti, sister. This is Ravi. I've been listening to your talk. People tell me I'm kind, I'm nice, I'm very well, and I respect everybody around me, and I get the respect. Sometimes when I hear some comment which I don't like, I bring that with me in my mind, and it bothers me for some time. I'm sorry I'm bringing this as a personal question, but this may be helping somebody else as well. I've tried to deal with it. It takes me time, but I'm a BK. I should be able to help it resolve faster. I should be able to forget about it sooner. But how? I want to hear your side. Om Shanti.
So 1 second. Thing happens and can't let it go, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well.
Aruna Ben, you are... Oh, right. Continue.
Yeah, now it's okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, what I want to say is I think you have to ask yourself, look at the damage that this is causing you when we don't let go of something. And when we don't let go, then we are the first person that it's affecting. And it could be something somebody else said. It could be somebody else's opinion or idea. But the fact that I'm holding on to it, I'm the first person that's getting, well, physically affected, then of course mentally and spiritually. So yeah, I have to see when we get certain thoughts in our head that we can't get them out, then I would suggest at that time, don't try and sit in meditation. Don't try and, create another thought at that time. No, it doesn't always work unless you're a very powerful soul. So what I would suggest you do is you just start doing something practically, physically, which means you start cleaning, you start cooking, but at the same time, try to have, try to create positive thoughts, but don't try to forget that thing because it's not going to work. Because the more you think about it, the more you're going to give it energy. So what you do is you have to distract your mind, get practical, get going physically, start vacuuming or whatever. And at the same time, as I said, listen to something nice or at least generate some positive thoughts for yourself, not about the thing, just for yourself. And then you kind of get above this thing that's bothering you. And then you start having power over it. But I think the mistake we make is immediately we try to tackle thought with thought, and it doesn't always work because the thing is, it's not just thought anymore, it's got into feeling. See, when somebody said something to us, it's not just a thought, it's affected us by feeling. Like we have come into a feeling. And so that feeling means it's gone deep into my soul. So I cannot just use thoughts now. I'm going to have to generate some other good feeling. So first step away from it, get practical, get going, and then, then turn to it when you feel like you have some power over it.
Thank you, sister. Due to time constraint, this is the last question we will be taking, and which is from Brother Andy. Does being kind bring validation?
Well, I mean, you're not doing it for validation. As I said, you're just being kind because that is our innate, instinctive nature to be kind. Like, think about it. When I meet somebody for the first time, my natural instinct is to trust, isn't it? My natural instinct is to give, is to share. But as I said, maybe with some of us, we have some experiences where then we keep to ourselves, but our natural instinct is to give. So I don't think we're necessarily doing it for validation. We're doing it more because that is my natural nature. Yeah, I'm sure there may be some who do it for validation, but I don't think generally that is the case.
Thank you very much.